which is where I talk about all the books that I'm going to be reading throughout the month of November. Now, I'm going to be taking part in Believathon Round 3, which is hosted by the wonderful Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. I will link his introduction video for the readathon in the description box down below. I'm not going to try and tell you everything about this readathon because really Gavin does it so meticulously well with the help of a few friends of his that really you'd need to see it coming from him. Like, I could not do his hard work that he's put into this readathon enough justice. So basically the readathon is called The Mystery of the Maleficarum, I think it's called, and I did have a printout. He's created a book that you can either order off Amazon to tell you all about the readathon, or you can download and print out a free copy of the information, and I did have it, but then I moved and I don't know where I put the printout now. It's somewhere, it's in a box somewhere, a box that I haven't got to yet, so I should find it by the end of November, but I don't have it with me as of yet, so I don't know the prompts, and I don't have all the information. So that is why I will link his information for you down below, because I've lost mine. I don't know where it is. So basically it's like a game of Cluedo, and you have to collect the props in order to solve the mystery. That's basically what we're trying to do, and each of these books will fill a prompt for a particular prop. There are 13 prompts. I am doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up on some because I am really struggling at the moment. I need to get my reading back up, but it's a real struggle at the moment. So let's start off with just the books that I'm reading. So the first one is The Deepest Breath by Meg Grehan. This has been shortlisted for the Waterstones Children's Book Prize. I don't know if it's won or not yet, but this is a really good children's story. And by the way, the Believathon is based on middle grade books, so you have to read middle grade books in order to complete the readathon. And this is an interesting middle grade because it's a middle grade that is told completely in verse. So the whole thing is one large poem, and I thought that was really interesting and unique. I've not seen it before in middle grade. I've seen it in a couple of young adult books, but not seen it in a middle grade. I've seen poetry books, but not a whole story told in poetry form. And this one also delves into a female-female relationship in these two girls. Obviously it's not a romance as such, but it's just a young girl discovering who she is and her feelings for another young girl as well. So I'm interested to see how this is handled in a middle grade book, because obviously we see a lot of male-male, female-female relationships in YA nowadays, so I'd like to see how it's handled in the middle grade formula. So yeah, that is my first book, and this, I did have a piece of paper that told me which prompts it, there it is. So this will collect me the backpack and the hand mirror. So if I remember rightly, the hand mirror was to read a book with a beautiful cover, which I think most middle grades would cover that prompt, and the backpack was, I can't remember what the prompt was for that, but yes, that is that. Ooh, I'll have to put it on the floor. The next book I'm going to be reading is Frostheart Escape from Aurora. This is the second book in the Frostheart series by Jamie Littler, who wrote and illustrated these books. This is the beautiful Waterstones edition, so it has those beautiful sprayed edges that we love. I absolutely came back for this story because of the artwork. I wasn't massively excited about the story itself in the first book, but I absolutely adored and loved the illustrations, so I really did come back for this because of that. I'm interested in where the story's gonna go, because it kind of left at the end of book one with ooh, something more is coming in book 2. So I am really excited for the second book, and I believe there's going to be a third book as well. And yeah, I'm excited to read this one. And this one will collect me the crown, the dagger, the hand mirror again, the chain and the shadow. So this will collect me quite a few prompts. And also as well, Gavin did say that if we read any books that are written by some of his friends, then we get extra points. And Jamie Littler is a very, ooh, squirrel. Sound like that dog from Up, don't I? There's a squirrel in the tree. Oh, that's so cute. Anyway, moment. I didn't have this in the old house. Where was I? Yeah, so Jamie Littler has been quite friendly. Gavin has interviewed Jamie Littler on his channel. It's a great interview with the author. He's got quite a few interviews with middle grade authors on his channel, which I highly recommend you checking it out. So yeah, quite looking forward to this one. It is a chunker. It is, where did I write the page numbers? 465 pages, so Jamie Littler likes to waffle on like myself, so it's definitely a story that you can really delve into as an adult and enjoy. This is why I say middle grades are not just for kids nowadays, they're written for adults as well, so yeah, I'm going to enjoy that one. Oh, and if you don't know what Frostheart is about, it's about a young boy who is orphaned and nobody wants to look after him in his town because he has a tendency to sing, which is forbidden in this land because they live in a very frosted, like snowy land, and singing tends to attract the Leviathans, who are creatures that they obviously don't want to attract. So nobody wants to look after him until a Yeti, yes, a Yeti, decides to take him on and look after him, and they get into trouble. So yes, and Ash, I think the character's name is Ash, is trying to find his parents because he's not orphaned because his parents died, they just disappeared. So yes, there's that one. The next book that I want to read is The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. She is the author who wrote The Girl Who Speaks Bear and The House with Chicken Legs, which are very much loved and admired throughout the middle grade community. And this is her latest book, and I'm very excited for this. This is about a 13-year-old girl called Olia who steps through a magical doorway and discovers another land. And in the interview that Gavin did with Sophie Anderson, Sophie Anderson explained that she wanted the parents to not be so absent in this children's story. So whereas mostly in middle grades the parents are kind of got out of the way, in this one she didn't want to do that. She wanted a good family, strong unit. And as this is the Waterstones edition, it has an extra story on the end, which is only available apparently in the Waterstones edition. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. And I don't know what prompts this fills because I've literally just bought this and I threw it into the pile because I know I really want to read this. So yeah, I don't know what prompts this will collect, but it will collect a few, I'm sure. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to be reading is Wild Spark by Vashti Hardy. She also wrote the Bright Storm series, I think. So I'm not sure what items this book collects because I bought this after I lost the piece of paper. But this one does fill the prompt to read a book about ghosts or supernatural, because there are ghosts in this. We have Prue, who is on a mission getting the ghost machines of Medlock to remember the people they used to be. She needs to find her brother Francis. If she fails, her brother will stay dead, and if she succeeds, all of society may fall apart. So yeah, from the acclaimed author of Brightstorm comes a new breathtaking world to discover. I think this was published last year, so 2019 this was published. So yeah, she has to, the ghosts in the machines or something. So I'm really excited about this. I absolutely love that cover, and I can't for the life of me remember what this creature is called with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle, but I'm sure I'll be reminded of that in the text. There is a nice little map in the front there as well, which I always love a map. And yeah, I'm quite excited to be reading this book. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to be reading is Thejumbies by Tracy Baptiste. This is a Caribbean folk tradition based story about a young girl called Corinne Lemaire, who isn't afraid of anything, but when a beautiful stranger comes to her town, her home, claiming to take over the entire island for the Thejumbies, Corinne must save her home and her family and everyone that she loves. So yeah, I'm very excited to be reading this one, especially because the second book, The Rise of the Thejumbies, has black mermaids in it, and I desperately want to get to that book. If I can fit the second book in as well in November, I will do, but I'm only committing myself to the first book for the month. So yeah, I don't want to overcommit myself because I'm slumping terribly at the moment, and I don't think I'm going to hit my Goodreads goal. So this will complete a lot of the prompts. We can collect the key, the fingerprints, the dagger, the backpack, the hand mirror, the flash of lightning, the torn page and the footprints with just this one book alone. So it's going to be a top priority for me, so I can at least get the majority of the prompts done with just this one book, and then hopefully move on to the others as well. And the last book that I'm going to be reading for the Believathon is this beautiful hardback copy of A Necklace of Raindrops by Joan Aiken and Jan Pienkowski. Do apologise if I've pronounced that name wrong. But this is a beautiful book of short stories that are based on folk tales and fairy tales. A Necklace of Raindrops, patchwork quilts. I think there's a story in here about a cat with massive eyes and things like that. The elves and the shells, the three travellers, the baker's cat, a bed for the night. So it has these beautiful like shadow artwork in here, which is really, really beautiful. It's absolutely stunning artwork. So, ooh, dropped my paper. So yeah, I definitely want to read this one. And this will collect me the backpack, the hand mirror, the chain and the flash of lightning as well. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that one. So those are all the books that I'm going to be reading for the Believathon round 3. There may be some other books. I think me and both Charlotte and I haven't got round to reading The Wicked King during the month of October, so we're planning hopefully to read that in November instead. November is my birthday month, so I might get some new books that I'm going to want to read. I have recently purchased some new books. I'm looking over here because of my new shelves, that I kind of want to read as well. I'm not going to stick myself to a particular TBR because it is my birthday month. I'm going to give myself the month to mood read whatever I like. I've got my middle grades for the Believathon because I definitely wanted to support Gavin with that, considering how much hard work he's put into it. He deserves all the love that he gets. But the rest of the month I'm going to just read whatever I want because it's my birthday. And plus as well, it's been a bit hard reading recently. Wait till you see my October wrap up. It's not that great. It's probably one of my worst months of all time for reading, apart from when I wasn't reading at all. So yeah, that is it. That is my November TBR, short and sweet. Hopefully the wrap up will be a little bit longer because I will have read a lot more books than just these few. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.